Welcome to Collection Chronicles, the podcast where we bring you the world of collections, or bring the world of collections closer to you.
Closer to you.
Right? Yeah, that makes sense. This is our first podcast, episode 1, and I would like to introduce you to our cast. Carly Anderson, she's our producer, and most of the time she stays quiet, but you will hear her giggle. And Tanya, our co-host.
Hello.
Tanya is our host, and
co-host.
She's also co-host, and she's a collector in her own right.
Yep.
As well as one of our IT persons.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no.
Oh, I am the IT person. I am IT.
I just want to sound bigger than
okay.
we are. Okay. She's one of our IT members, team members.
And yes.
And myself, I'm the other co-host, Greg Matinsky, and I'm the CEO of Go Beyond.
Yes, and this is Connection Chronicles. Okay.
Yeah.
Greg, let's begin.
Let's begin. We thought that the first order of business would be to bring you Collection Chronicles, the chronicles of collections every time. Mm-hmm. So one of our first orders of business will be to tell you a story about collections. Mm-hmm. Some kind of a funny story. Sometimes it's a funny story, sometimes it's a sad story. And, we just write a list and pick one and let you know how it went. Mm-hmm. So I think, Tanya, do you have any stories right now, or do you want me to?
Yeah, you go ahead, and I'll add in as we go, or I'll add my own story.
Okay,
so let's see what you
I think
got.
There's a lot of stories, or
there's
are a lot
many.
Of stories.
There's many.
So one of the stories that I definitely wanted to share with everybody is the MMA fighter that came to our office. So this is a story where I managed to piss off an MMA fighter on the phone, and he came in, and the thing is, I haven't understood what happened until I put down the phone. Mm-hmm. So I was talking with somebody on the phone, and this person was really irate, and we had I shouldn't say pissing match on the phone. I shouldn't say this on a podcast maybe, but it was really rough. And so I told him, you know what, if you want, come in and pay your bill or do whatever you want. And he said, yeah, I'm coming in. So I hung up the phone, and my business partner at the time, he turns around on the other desk and he says, you know who's coming in?
Who was it? Do you know his name?
Well,
Can we mention names?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, let's give him initials.
Let's call him PJ.
Oh, okay, PJ.
PJ or DJ. So this dude comes in, and we were like shaking in our boots, like this guy is gonna beat us up. And he came in. We pretended that we were really brave, and you just come in, man, just come in.
Yeah.
And then
so you got, bro.
Yeah. And he came in, and he was the coolest dude ever. Like, he brought his money, he paid everything off.
Yeah, I guess it was just all front on the phone, which most of them are. If they don't see you, they
yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And then this guy actually showed us his moves. So he had all these moves.
Okay. What did he show you? What was his, I know it's mixed martial arts, but what exactly was his main thing? Like, there's grapplers, there's jiu-jitsu guys, there's Muay Thai and Thai boxing guys.
He had this jump up from the floor and twist and kick or something. I mean, I'm glad I wasn't in the way of that. But
okay.
He told us that he would do 200 push-ups at one time. And then he would have people punch him, and then he would do another set of push-ups, and that's how they train.
Wow, that's intense. Yeah, I did Muay Thai for a little bit, but
really?
Yeah, but I never sparred and was never in any competition. I just did basically you did some Thai boxing, Thai.
Wow.
Yeah, we did a little bit of jiu-jitsu, but not too much. But it was just some mix. I did it Iron Tiger Muay Thai, so.
Wow, I didn't know that. Should I be afraid?
No. Maybe we could get them as one of our clients, because I do know the owners.
Really?
So yeah, I'd be like, hey, you got any defaulting memberships here? I know you're a chill guy, but
We actually, you know what? We do have karate schools.
Oh, well, so there you go. There you go. Yeah.
Which is kind of weird, because I would think, if you do karate, I mean, you've got some sort of principles of, you have to.
Some kind of honor thing, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean,
that's bad debtor's a bad debtor.
Well, yeah, and again, one of the things that a lot of people don't see that we see is that it doesn't matter who you are or what kind of things you do in your regular life.
Yep.
You could be a bad, in quotation marks, bad debtor or a good
consumer.
debtor. Yeah, consumer.
Uh-huh.
Or a good consumer, meaning that you either deal with your finances in a bad way.
Yeah, exactly. Because it doesn't have to be the end all or like the end of the world when you get a collections call, but most people think that and get
That's
defensive.
right.
Yeah.
And I hear you all the time telling them that.
Yeah.
No, sir. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. You're just, just pay your bill.
Yeah, just you maybe you didn't realize it. So this is how like I think our business platform is really good, because we don't take it in and just like report it right away. We just go, okay, we'll let them know and advise them, and we haven't reported it yet, but we'll give you the opportunity. Maybe you don't know, and we'll make arrangements with you. Maybe it is a mistake. Who knows? I'll figure it out. I won't spend too much time on it, of course, because we deal with a lot of files, but it's at least we're customer centric in a sense. It's a mix between client centric and customer centric.
And I think that's the way to do it. That's
exactly.
new age collections, right?
Exactly. I think that's why we're like one of the ones that are still going, pretty much, right?
Yeah, I think so. Because old school is really out, and
Yeah.
you hear things from the United States. I mean, I'm sure that some of our listeners are from the United States.
Yeah.
Some are from Canada. We're from Canada.
Yep.
But we hear all these nightmare stories on the internet.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think a lot of the
Bad reviews.
bad reviews and that, and
just
we're
like
going to
you
take
guys
your
are-
firstborn. And this and that.
Yeah. You guys are the like we're treated like what do you call it?
Second-class
Ticket takers.
citizens. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. It's like, you guys are devils. Why don't you go pick on some actual criminals? Like, calm down here.
Get a real life.
Yeah, exactly.
Or a real job.
Exactly.
I like that comment. Right.
So,
Well, I feel sorry for even the parking enforcement people.
oh yeah.
Because, all they're doing is doing their job. And sometimes I feel like sympathetic. Like, I do the same, buddy. I'll go and pay it.
Yeah. Not me. It's like, no, man, come on. Oh, you're 0.5 inches away from the curb. Come on. I already wrote it. Oh.
Too bad.
Too bad.
Well, that's what I think that's the key that people don't see, and that's the point of us bringing this podcast closer to people, or bringing the world of collections closer to people, is that you don't see that collectors can be good people, collectors can help consumers,
Yep.
as opposed to just being these crazy
Ruthless,
ruthless
money
people,
hungry demons or whatever they. I can't even think of the different words that we are described as from our
Yeah.
consumers. But I know from my personal experience, like when I'm done with a consumer, I tend to get the thank you so much for your help.
Yeah.
And I was like, great. That's why I take away from it. It doesn't.
It feels good.
Yeah, yeah, it does. It does.
It does feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's our story for today. That's the one that we brought to you. Now, keep in mind that we're looking for stories. We have a lot of stories, all of us, including Carly.
Oh yeah, every episode we will have one. We will
But-
never run out.
But we will ask the listeners to
Yeah.
send us their stories. If you are a creditor and you had a nightmare story or a situation where you didn't know what to do, send it to us. Or if you're a consumer that had some crazy,
good or bad experience.
yeah, good or bad. Yeah, I agree with you. Why not the good too? Yeah, we should.
There's good side. There's balance in all.
So send it to us. We'll read it, or we'll talk about it, and you'll get your story heard.
Mm-hmm.
And our email is what's our email where they can
It's
send
a GBPodcast at gobeyondcollect.com.
All right,
Send
that's
us your
GBPodcast at
stories.
gobeyondcollect.com. So we've also thought that we should bring you the excuse of the day.
Oh, yes.
Or of the week.
Yes.
So
Why I can't pay, or why I missed the
Yeah.
payment.
And we hear a lot of those. And I'm sure that the listeners hear a lot of those, or some of the listeners make up excuses because, hey, we've all been on the other side of this too.
Yeah.
So,
And I think most of the time people just forget to, and they're like, oh, well, I thought this was happening, and it's like, okay, sir, calm down.
Yeah. But Carly had an awesome one. What was it? It was,
Give us a hint here, Carly.
The guy who had an identical twin brother.
Okay.
With the same name.
Same
Oh,
name.
okay. Well, that's how they were born, with the same
Yeah.
name.
There was no. They just they probably identified them by their some kind of weird birthmark or
Yeah,
something.
who
like that.
knows? Yeah.
It's like
Mark 1 and
identical
Mark
twin
2.
1, identical twin 2.
That's
Same name.
Same name,
Same name.
exactly.
Yeah, that's mess. That's uncreative. I'm
So
sorry, I
how
give
would
no
that-
points for that one.
But how would that have gone, Carly? That would have gone like, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir. That's my identical twin brother. That's not me."
Okay, yeah, me. Well, one of you has to pay, like legally.
Actually, legally, how does that go? Well, legally they don't.
Oh man, that
it would
you know what? That ties into sort of the story I seen on my feed on Facebook, where these two twins. I don't know if this is like very. It's a bit mature content, but two Siamese twins. Their top halves are independent, so
Right.
they got two arms.
That happens. Yeah.
Yeah. So two arms each. Their that happens. Yeah, when they're identical, they.
What are we getting into?
They
Oh my
split.
God. Yeah.
No. Okay, so they have two arms each. Head. Their
Right,
upper body
right.
organs are separate, except for their lower half. That's
Right.
where they share the same genitals.
Same body. Yeah, everything.
And
yeah.
the lower half. So
I've heard of that. Yeah.
there's a rights. They put one of them wants to took the other twin to court about
Really?
masturbation rights. Who has the right to? So they're fighting each other in court about masturbation rights, and I'm like, so imagine the other.
that's just crazy.
Yeah.
Where did this podcast go to?
I know, but it kind of ties into the same
does.
name, right? They're both identical twins technically,
Well, I
but they gotta have the same name.
And I just want to say we're not
Maybe.
making fun of Siamese twins.
Oh, of
It's-
course not. It's just that
seriously,
particular case. Yes.
conjoined twins. Yeah.
Yes, that's Siamese, right?
Is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, I
Right,
So
conjoined, yeah.
conjoined twins.
It's just a situation that's kind of messed
Yeah.
up. Then,
Imagine if they were debtors.
well,
It's not me. It's my brother.
Well, just look at the situation. Like
Yeah.
How can they talk in private to their lawyer?
they can't.
They can't.
I don't
I
know.
mean-
Maybe they use headphones.
Well, they could text. Yeah, they could.
Perhaps. Yeah. That is true.
It's just one of the aspects of that.
Holy yeah.
Could be really difficult. Or
I like-
what if you sued your other half that's conjoined to you, and the other half actually ends up going to jail?
Yeah, because how does it work? Who pays? I mean, let's say it's like like they're being sued. Who pays?
Oh my God!
Don't they both suffer somehow? But yes, that twin story from Carly. That's the one that
That's
that
the
made me
excuse.
think of that.
So excuse of the day. That's my identical twin brother with
with the
identical
exact same name, address, postal
And-
code,
and SIN
SIN
number,
number, debt.
I mean, date of birth is the same.
Yeah.
So-
I think the guy even went, no, I know it sounds really weird, but trust me.
Maybe they were conjoined. Did you ask that?
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Well, that's a good story.
That is. So we're gonna keep the excuses coming every time that we sign on, and this was our excuse of the week, excuse of the day,
Excuse of the episode. I guess
excuse
it
of the
was
episode.
Yeah.
But one of the things that we wanted to ask you again is, we will have stories, not these stories, the collection stories and excuses, but stories that you would like analyzed.
Mm-hmm.
So we will have stories where, we get a situation from you or from our office,
Mm-hmm.
and once we go through it, then we analyze what could have been done better on either side, the collection side, the consumer side, just to make it, a better understanding.
So for Carly's story there, what would be the thing you would do there to just kind of figure out that part? Like
That it's really the conjoined,
Yeah.
or it's really the
like
twin
what would you
person.
ask
Well, I mean, I would
for
definitely
to like kind of prove that? What can you do?
Well, I mean, I joke aside, I
Yeah.
would probably ask the details, information of the consumer. I mean, what's your date of birth? Obviously, will be the same, or not
Yeah.
necessarily, but would be likely
Yeah.
the same. But I mean, SIN number, social security number, or
some kind of identification,
or
ID,
address, some kind of
with
ID,
a
yeah.
name, address, confirming, or a bill. I think bill
Yeah,
statement.
I think so.
Yeah,
That's what I would do. I mean, what would you do? I mean, I don't know.
yeah, I would do the same.
Or I might just close the file.
It's like, you know
This is
what?
a waste of my time. I
Forget
can't.
this.
Yeah.
Depends on the amount, though.
You ask for a picture.
I would ask for photo identification with name. Yeah.
Well, it all depends, right? We're upsetting all the twins
Well,
right now.
if
that
the
are
name's the
listening.
same, that's irrelevant. It can't. How do you? I don't even think I would believe him.
Yeah, if it's the same name.
Yeah, that's
then-
just weird with the
well,
same
I mean,
name.
sometimes parents play weird jokes on their kids.
Oh man, yeah.
So that would be the stupidest
like
joke.
dressing twins the same. I
Yeah,
hate
it's like
that.
John and John,
Oh.
and they look the same.
But they call them Johnny and John.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you that happened somewhere.
Oh yeah, probably. Parents are weird sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on. One of the things we wanted to also discuss is how we collect. And a lot of people out there, they don't know. Some people know how to collect accounts or how to collect monies, but a lot of people don't, are not aware of any techniques on how collection can be done. And we at Go Beyond, we're collection professionals, along with all the other members of the industry.
Yeah.
And we have different techniques that a lot of the collectors use, but maybe the listener doesn't know that they exist. So I was thinking maybe we could go through one each time and, just describe how it works. So
Yeah, and sometimes two different collectors, depending on the type of files they collect, use similar techniques but in their own little tweaks.
you're right.
Yeah, so
You're right.
it depends. So
Put a little twist on it.
Yes, like higher balances, and then for my example, low balances.
Mhm.
I don't know how do you want me to start off here then?
Well, I think
Give me a scenario.
well, I think we could just discuss like specific techniques. So not
Okay.
scenarios, but like what is the technique, and we can even role play it then.
Yeah.
So maybe one of the techniques that I was thinking of introducing people to would be echoing.
Okay, explain that one.
So echoing is, let's say you call somebody as a collector or somebody that has money owed to them, and you're calling this person, and the person says, "Oh, well, I can't pay it, but I can pay, $10." Echoing is $10.
Oh, okay. It's like
So you're making them feel, like
Like-
this is ridiculous.
I'm gonna say it back to you so you can hear what I heard and tell me
Yeah.
if you wouldn't think what I just thought.
It's a very simple technique. I mean,
Yeah.
all it does is just plays it
$10?
back. Yeah.
Are you sure you do owe like $5,000? You sure you want to pay $10 a month for the next 25, 30 years?
Right. and that, you know what, that's something that now you're already doing your own take on it.
Yeah.
The original technique is you just echo
Yeah.
and then you remain silent.
You just remain
and
silent.
Let them process what they just said to you.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, I don't know, maybe I could do more. That's the hopes that they'll then up it a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
But I mean, I guess psychologically, a lot of people don't even know how maybe meager or how little it sounds if they say it.
Yeah,
I'll
exactly.
give you $10. $10.
And then and when they hear
well,
it back,
Yeah.
you pause.
Yeah. Because basically, I think a lot of collections just depend on the mentality of the consumer at the other end, in that what they build up in their mind is what the scenario is actually becoming.
Yeah.
So as a collector, you're trying to build that scenario up in their mind so that they finally come to the realization, well, I do have to pay this.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to get them there.
Yeah.
Because they come into it very, I would say defensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very defensive.
Yeah, very, very, very.
Well, most of the things that we get are basically the last resort collections, right?
Yeah,
So-
pretty much. All other means have been exhausted.
Yeah. And we still have to be professional about it. So
Of course, yes.
we've got to act by the rules or regulations that are in place in every province, every state, every area that we call, or
Yeah.
every region. And within those bounds, we still have to be able to, be creative and inventive and talk in a way that is going to, sell the idea
Yeah,
of paying.
exactly. Because you can't put them off. Some people, when they don't get that type of, I would guess, service that they expect, they would rather not. Because remember, like sometimes we had if we have somebody who they didn't like the first agent they originally dealt with, they will say and call back and say, I'll pay this, but I will not speak to that agent or pay to this agent.
And we know
They
who those
want
people are in the office.
I want someone else, and it's like, what difference does? Do you know it makes no difference?
Well, it makes a difference to them.
Yeah, to
right?
them in their mind, and it's like you have to play into that psyche and
Right.
go, okay, no problem, I'll take your payment. Still, it's to the agent who originally it was assigned to, but
Right.
I mean, but that's just yeah, that's
just
just
the psyche, yeah.
yeah, that's just the psyche of it. They don't think they're being treated the way they're supposed to.
Yeah, and I get it. You know,
Yeah.
on the other side of it, I mean, obviously, if I was that debtor or consumer that had that call, I would be pissed off too. Like, why are you calling me? Just leave me alone. I know I have a debt. I don't want to deal with it
Yeah.
right now. The thing is, what we're bringing to you or bringing to the table is we're going to make it your priority right now. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And it's going to be uncomfortable.
Of course, it's always
And-
going to be a little
Yeah.
bit that way. Yeah. And me, I like to let them know. Like, in a sense, I think this is what I think I'm doing, but I kind of make them feel like they're doing it on their terms.
Hey, you're
You
good.
know, but I just still draw that kind of line, but it's like just dragged through the sand. It's not marked deeply. It's like a pinky finger little indentation of a line.
More like a
Well,
thumb.
it does have to be paid before this because that's when we do reporting. But if you give me something beforehand, I can postpone this.
But you're good. And
Yeah, I try to be. I
for
try.
all to know, Tanya has really good results in collections. So she is a pro. So she knows what she's doing.
Yeah, I've learned a lot from this office because I didn't come in as I've never actually done collections before I work here. I've just done customer service and a lot of IT, so it plays a lot into it. There's a lot of customer service in collections, despite that. And especially this particular this company in specific, you know.
And I think you've got a number of clients of ours that have a very specific profile, and that's virtual casinos, right?
Oh yes.
So that's a really interesting topic
That's a
in
different
itself.
type of debtor in itself.
Yeah.
It's challenging, but it's very interesting. Yeah,
It's
'Cause
gambling.
It's
debts.
yeah. So it kind of like I have a leverage in a sense that it's a very detrimental type of debt to have. It's
It
one thing
is.
to have credit card debt, but it's one thing to show a gambling debt. You know what I mean? So I kind of say like, I mean, this is a casino. This is gonna report on your
credit.
as you owe a casino.
That's
I
right.
mean, there's no whether you do a consumer what do they call it? Proposal or you file for bankruptcy. Just the fact that it just says a casino or
yeah.
gambling debt.
You don't want that on
That's
your credit.
hard. That shows a
Yeah.
different type of not confidence in taking that credit risk to lending to that individual because it's like, well, they're a really high liability.
Right.
So yeah,
Right.
it sort of goes one way or the other because like some people they're so desperate that they'll gamble to try to
Right.
improve their financial situation, and then
course.
there's those
Yeah.
who are just they like to gamble. They have maybe an addiction. Who knows? Because that some of them have money too, but just saying that it kind of works sometimes for me in either direction. So, but it's fun though.
It is.
Yeah.
I think it's time for us to sign off on our first episode. though.
Okay.
So sorry to cut you short. We'll continue with the
It was
second
good.
episode.
Love this.
But I think we should tell our listeners that there are more episodes coming up every week. And if you want to write us a note,
Leave us your comments and
leave us your
feedback.
comments. We're going to be posting our Twitter handle soon.
Yep.
In the next episode. But we also have an email, which is
Again, GBPodcast at gobeyondcollect.com.
thank you for listening. And until next time, what is it that we're going to say?
We
Carly had this.
We
awesome
forgot our catchpage.
Pay or get paid?
Yes.
Pay until next time.
Pay or get paid. All right.